along the south, along towards the south. Is there anything anyone wants to do in the next? There are a couple of things that happen, but is there anything anyone want to do in the next, like, specifically in the next, like, week and a half?
Aside from general chatter.
Yeah, aside from Mock being Mock.
At one stage, like, I think, like, as in the middle of the night, maybe,
Sure.
when, like, the captain's still up, but no one else is.
Sure.
Like, I go out and, like, sit on the deck. Not too near him, but, like, in the vicinity that he could hear me if I spoke or played an instrument.
Yeah.
And, from travelling, I feel like I would know maybe a couple of sea shanties, and I play the tune on my kalimba.
Okay. Yeah, and he like, in his, like, gruff sailor's voice, he sings along, kind of quietly. I think he doesn't, like, belt it out. It's late at night, and yeah, he's just singing along quietly.
Adorable. At some point during the week, I would have sidled up, next to Flavi, and just been like, so I couldn't help but notice whenever one of our guild friends mentioned going south, you got a little bit antsy about it. Any
She sighs heavily
Captain
and,
sings
like,
pretty good.
acts like she doesn't want to talk about it. She's reluctant.
Well, I suppose if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine.
She
But
sighs a sigh of relief, and then gasps again when you say that.
It's like,
it looks like you'll be traveling with us for a little while. It looks like wouldn't hurt to know a little bit more about you. Do
What's there to know?
you have a middle name? Do you have a favorite animal? What's your favorite color? What's that thing? Where'd you get it from? And I point at your karimba because I've never seen one before.
I say, no. I can't remember your second question.
Neither do I.
I think it was middle name, favorite animal, favorite color.
Yeah, okay.
I say no, but all the colours. And what was the other one? What's that thing? It's an instrument.
Well, I gathered that.
Handmade.
Where'd you get it from? Is it a thing about your race, or is it special?
It's special. All of my instruments are special. Besides,
That one's your favorite?
fumbles with them. She shakes her head, and then she wears a pan flute around her neck on like a hand woven kind of string, and she taps it gently.
That one's your favorite.
She nods, like sadly.
I won't ask because she looks sad about it, and I pull out my What instrument did I have? That one.
The violin.
Viol. That was what I got. Yeah, the violin. The viol. I pull out mine. It's sort of like it's white with sort of like gold and black, flecks all around it. And I'm like, this one's my favorite. I have a few others, but this is the one I like to use. No idea where I got it from. No idea.
She chuckles.
You see, I grew up in an orphanage. You see, I was cast out, when I was deemed old enough to care for myself, and I was picked up by a cartel of traveling candlemakers. They found interest in my in my guitar, in my violin. They tried to take it from me, but I was able to sway them away with my music. Was able to send them to sleep, so to speak, long enough to get away. I have quite a few tales like that. Any stories of yourself?
I imagine, says not for now, and then she begins playing her pan.
I just listen.
See how amazing it is. It's like
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. The 17 was the captain singing, by the way. So his,
yeah, he did better at singing
His,
than I did at playing my instrument.
him singing along with his sea shanties was apparently pretty good. Cool, awesome. So
He's a
yeah,
natural.
it's probably been like maybe 4 or 5 days into the journey, and like the captain's been kind of keeping you informed and on the process, and you've been making like pretty good time. You're probably maybe another 4 days out from the journey's end. He thinks, and if he says if you keep if we keep the wind that we've been getting, it'll be less than that. And yeah, so on the it's probably the 4th day, the captain, I think actually one of the crew members, because captain's probably not there right now. One of the crew members, and the first mate are probably on deck. You guys can kind of decide where you are. It's kind of the middle of the day. And for anyone who isn't on the deck, you start to hear like a commotion above decks. And for anyone who is, you see one of the crew members, not the first mate, like pointing off into a direction. And he's kind of looking through his like spyglass, and then pointing, and he calls for the first mate to come over. And they have a hushed conversation before the crew member darts off downstairs, like goes below decks. So you guys can just kind of decide where you would be, if anyone would actually be above decks to witness that.
I'd be up.
Yeah,
So.
I probably would have been on deck.
Okay. So yeah, you do see that. Looking off in the direction that the crew member was pointing, you can't really see anything. But, you know, they kind of, like, looked through the spyglass, and then the crew member passed the spyglass to the first mate, and he had a look, and they seem to have a look that, you know, something... They seem to think that something is going on.
Did they seem, like, concerned or, like, worried or anything? Like, was it, like, a negative
Oh, yeah, they seemed
connotation
concerned.
to them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
They definitely seemed concerned.
I go up to the captain and I...
Yeah, so
Any idea what's going on?
yeah, the captain's there, but like, you go to like the first mate. It says there's a ship off the port. It's not flying colors. Probably pirates.
Ooh, pirates! I mean, that's a bad thing.
He nods. Yes, it is a bad thing. They are less common in the northern waters, but they are around every now and then. Normally we can avoid them. We are quicker. But this ship, she seems to be cut of a similar cut to a ship. If their crew is any as good as ours, they would catch us.
That does not bode well.
He shakes
Any
his
ideas,
head.
Captain?
He shakes his head. He says, well, you look like you can fight. You all have weapons. If it comes to that, I will need you to be ready.
Can fight and liking to are two very different things, I'm afraid. But yeah, sure. If someone is up in my face, I will probably hit them, maybe.
He nods. He says, none of us likes to fight. It is what separates us from the pirate scum.
That's not true at all. My friend just punches people in the face without any care. It's very amusing.
He nods. Fine. Go get them. They'll be helpful in the oncoming incident.
I can do just that. And are they coming up or...
Yeah, it's like
I've been eavesdropping and like already walked down to go get
Cool.
like.
So I think, Flavia, as you kind of walk below decks, you see the captain like waking the rest of the crew, any of the crew who are asleep, and moving them from their bows, and they all start to head upstairs. What is Zon and Nox doing as this is happening?
I've just been keeping to myself in my hammock.
Okay. So yeah, you hear
Oh.
like the commotion of like crew being woken and the captain telling people to get above decks.
Yeah, I head up. I head up. Is it Mock? Yeah. No.
Mock's already above.
Is Cardinal in the room with me?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Are you coming up too? Are you moving to get up or whatever you were doing?
Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
Yep. And
Yeah.
If he was already moving,
I
I
say
don't
when
say
this is done.
anything.
well, I say to you, when this is done, we should have a game of cards.
Maybe.
Hey, Zon speaks a word. That's a point in your favor there, Nox. Sweet. So yeah, you as you kind of
I know.
like,
I was
push
worried.
aside the sailcloth that is your cabin wall, you see Flavi like walking towards you as the crew are like scampering and grabbing cutlasses and going above decks. What are the three of you doing as you approach each other below decks?
I see them getting up and I stop. Like, I imagine I'm walking down the stairwell and I just stop because I can see them getting up. That's what I was going to get them for.
Okay. So you just go back up top, Flavi?
I just wait for them. I just stand on
Okay.
the stairs.
So yeah, you guys.
Continue upstairs or up to the top deck. Or
Okay.
up deck.
So yeah, as you guys kind of go through the hole in the floor that leads to the upper deck, you see the crew kind of like they're all doing something. There's a couple of them who are like, you know, on the sail, on the rigging, like trimming and doing that sort of stuff. They're all doing ship things that, you know, you guys probably don't know exactly what they're doing, but they all look busy. The captain and the first mate are having a heated discussion by the wheel. What do you guys?
I
I
just
walk
sort of,
up
like-
to them and listen if they'll let
just-
me.
If they're like fighting at each other, I'm just sort of standing off to the side, just like.
Sure. So I think as the captain, so for you, Mock, as the captain kind of came back up, he like steps up and kind of moves quickly towards the first mate, who's still kind of like looking with the spyglass. The first mate like passes the spyglass to the captain. The captain has a look, and he nods. He says, "Aye, definitely pirates. The ship is about the same cut as ours. They will catch us. We cannot outrun them. We need to be ready to turn and fight." And the first man says, I thought the same. What about the adventurers? The ones the guild hired us to take. They can fight. They have weapons. We should make use of them. And the captain like nods. I agree. But if they get hurt, the guild will probably not pay us. We need to be careful of them. Both what they can do, and he says they with a knowing like nod over the head, and what the pirates might do to them if they know what they can do. It is easier for a pirate to knows they cannot win a fight to sink a ship, rather than continue a fight they cannot win. It might be better to hide them, the ones with abilities. And then they're basically going back and forth about whether they should let you guys have free reign or whether to hide you.
Was I listening to all of that? Was I
Yeah.
just right there?
Yeah.
And I'm just sort of like, hey,
Pretty much.
so, question.
They both look at you.
What do you mean by by all of that? Are we just gonna hide, or did you want some help? What's the go plan here? I can let my friends know. We can.
And the captain kind of like looks resigned. He says, I don't think we'll have much of a choice. If their ship is what I think it is, they will have more men than us, and they will be better trained than us. We are merchants and fishermen. We are not fighters. We are not warriors. We are not pirates. I think we will need you. Just if you could make your abilities discreet, it would be appreciated. The pirates have a tendency to sink ships they don't think they can take. And with you on board, they won't think they can take this ship.
That makes a fair amount of sense. And I what's the word? I diffuse my flames, and I just sort of so the blue
Cool.
flames go away. I'm just like, I can be perfectly normal, I assure you. And I'll go fill in the others. I'll go.
Okay. So yeah,
So
what do
you
you
all
what do you
about-
tell the rest of the
As soon
group,
as you-
Mark? Or what does Cardinal do? If Cardinal's doing something.
Oh, I was waiting for her to tell us because I need to know the information.
Okay.
So
So what do you say?
depends on what she tells us.
Okay. So basically, what the captain and the first mate over there are having a bit of a dilemma about is that apparently on the sea, if a pirate ship thinks that they can't beat another ship in a fight, they'll just sink the ship. And since I don't like water, that's not fun for me. And we also have, and I pointed, Flavi's bug. I'm like, we also have that. Pretty sure that can't swim either. So he believes the best bet is either for us to hide or for us to just simmer down on anything that makes us look threatening. So they just pass on by, possibly, or I think
It's more like whether they board or whether they sink,
yeah,
right?
whether they board or whether
Yeah.
they attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If push comes to shove,
So after hearing, so it's the water or the shadows. Okay, so that's
that is a poetic way of putting it. Yes.
I have to go ask the captain something.
Alright. So yeah, you walk over and the captain turns to look at you as you ascend the small stairs to the whatever it's called where the wheel is.
Ah, the old whatever it's called.
That one indeed.
Captain. Captain, you're worrying about pirates, but they're pirates. Why don't you just pay them and they'll go? A tribute.
He looks up and down. And what's to stop them from taking more? Once we pay them, we clearly cannot defend ourselves.
Because pirates are in a business much like we are, much like you are. Repeat business is better for business, yes?
He looks you up and down. You want me to make it known that pirates can stop me for a fee, for a payoff. You know what that will do to my business, my ship?
You make it so like the pirates will tell everyone, and that is not the case. They will keep it to themselves because they will want your business and only your business. Savvy?
And you have the gall to pay them. He raises his eyebrows.
Depends on the price. How much do you reckon they will take?
They will take everything if they can. Scum.
But isn't every gold coin worth more than your ship being at the bottom of the water?
He says, they would not sink my ship. They would take everything and leave unless they think we are too much of a threat. Kind of looks down towards Flavie and Mock.
Simple minstrels. I'm sure they'll be fine.
He nods. He says, so you'll pay them, hmm?
If I have the coin that they desire, then yes, I'll pay them. Thieves of the land speak the same as the thieves of the sea.
He nods. He says, I'll put up the flag of surrender, of parley, if you wish to talk to them.
Thank you, Captain.
He nods. And, he barks some orders, and the flag they're currently flying is lowered, and a new one is put up. And yeah, like, over the next probably 10-15 minutes, you see the a ship closing. And it gets to the point where you can see people on the deck as, like, actual figures. And they're you notice as they kind of get closer, their flag also changes to the same one you're flying. And as the ship draws near, can everyone roll me perception checks? Let's get a round of perception checks to see what people notice. Okay. And Cardinal. There we go.
Whoa. I'm the best at seeing.
I don't. Shit.
Okay. So Zon, you notice, as the ships kind of like draw near, you notice, like, I guess grapnels is probably the closest comparison. Like, hook onto the, so like if you're, so the boats are like here and here, right? On the outer side of your boat, so on the side that's not facing the other boat, like grapnels attach. And this is happening, probably why no one else notices, because this is happening as, like, the crew of the pirate vessel is like readying ropes to throw to, like, pull the two ships together, so you can, come across, or they can come across to you. Yeah, as that's happening, ropes are essentially tied to the other side of the ship, and you notice, like, the tension on them.
I'd go over to them.
Okay. You look over the edge of the ship, and you see 5 servant, dressed in, like, a rough leather armor, like rough, like, kind of damaged leather armor, that's, like, soaked through, like, climbing their way up these.
Are there, like,
ropes.
what? Is there, like, 7 grappling hooks then?
Yeah, it's 5. So 5 and 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
5, sorry.
Yeah.
Can I try and unhook it from the...
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Just, like, kind of lift it up and, like, throw it down.
So it's gonna take. You'd probably have to, like, cut it.
Okay.
Or something, because there's tension on the rope, right?
Yeah, okay.
So unless you can, like, lift an entire, like, a body weight of somebody, which you can roll. You can roll a strength test to try and, like, lift basically a person's body weight.
I think I'll cut
off.
it. I think I'll go
Okay.
for the cutting.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you roll me, like, a?
Is that a dexterity?
I guess yeah. Well, if we do dexterity, it'll be like how many you can get to.
Okay. So how do I roll just a dexterity check?
It'll probably just be like a saving throw, right? Or dexterity. There you go.
Oof.
Okay.
Oh dear.
What's inspiration do again?
So inspiration you can call before you roll the dice.
Oh,
And it essentially
Fuck.
gives you advantage on that roll. Yeah, so you make it to the first one, and you, like,
okay.
you have like a knife or something.
Yeah,
you're, like,
probably just a normal knife.
yeah, you're like sawing away at the rope, and it takes, like, a lot longer than you're expecting. And,
Okay.
like, even the pirate that's, like, climbing this first rope almost makes it to you. Like, he swings at your arm as you finally cut through the last strand of rope.
Yeah.
And there's like a brief, like, scream. I imagine it's probably a Wilhelm scream.
Yeah,
as he,
naturally.
like, tumbles into the waves as the other 4 like, pull themselves up onto the deck and draw their cutlasses on you, Zon. The pirates from the boat like, have pulled the two ships together at this point and are like leaping across. And the first thing, I think the four who are on your side of the boat kind of like call out to the other group. They say, "This one cut Steve's rope. He fell." And they
the entire time.
They all draw cutlasses and are like, "This is already in a bad place, Cardinal. You should probably step
The
in."
entire time.
Yeah.
I was playing a little ditty that I'm gonna call Zonstad shit. Just watching him do it, not trying to stop
I
him
love
or
it,
anything.
yeah,
Just
perfect.
like
So yeah, there's
It's
a bit of an
cutlasses.
uproar from the
See how
pirate
bad
crowd.
this has gotten.
I'm still playing the music. I'm just like,
Fuck.
No.
Yeah. I have my hands up like this. Just and say, "You know, Captain, I don't know why I have this accent now, but we'll go with it.
Like
You
I
know,
said, so like
Captain,
I think one of my favorite
told
parts about
you.
the Aravin, one of the favorite parts about the Aravin is they can literally pick an accent at random because they don't actually have a voice box. They don't have a voice. If they have an accent, it's because they've like if they have an accent, it's because they have mentally chosen to speak in that accent.
Oh, just playing the character then.
Exactly,
Captain.
just playing the character.
Wouldn't you say? Exactly. Wouldn't you say it's a bit? How do you say impolite to fly the flag of parley and then send men over the sides of the ship? I don't think either of us are in the right here. So, let's talk. Fuck Steve.
I think a Carvin, it's like a rock person, who has like multiple chips and chunks missing from him, like kind of steps across onto the ship and like thunks down onto the planks, and he says, "And who is this I'm speaking to? Who are you to be talking to me in such a way?"
I'm just a man who wants to go about his business. That's all I want. And all I know is that all you want is to get a gain and then go. Yes?
He laughs. And I think all the he starts laughing, and then like the entire crew of the pirate ship starts laughing. And he kind of walks up and he reaches around, like pats one of his men on the back and says, "The Shadow believes he knows what we want, boys. What if I told you I wanted to kill every person on this boat just to sake my bloodlust, huh?"
the music gets more suspenseful as he says that.
And then I think as the music
would
like
say, why
changes,
did you-
he says that. He like points at Mock. He points at Mock. He says, "And you I will keep. I like the music. It adds effect."
Not for sale, but I'll consider your offer.
He laughs. "I wasn't offering to buy."
I
Captain,
take a few steps
if
back
you wanted
behind
us
Zon.
dead, you could have sunk us.
Yeah, like his shoulders shift in an exaggerated shrug. "Like I said, maybe my bloodlust only saked from doing it personally. And I'm a pirate who gives a fuck about parley. They're more of guidelines
You have the
than
flag.
actual rules."
But the Pirates Code is a lot like the Thieves' Code. We don't know why we have it, but we all follow it unless we be labeled Blackhearts and lepers amongst our own.
He kind of like, so he pulls aside like his leather armor, and there's this like deep carved like X across his heart. "Labeled Blackheart, you say? What do you think my ship is? Why do you think we sail north? These aren't our waters." Who are you?
Oh, yeah.
Who have you hit, Jake?
So it's at that moment.
So Jake,
I just see Jake making it.
so Zon, to note,
That's a
you
good
do
attack
have
roll.
5 pirates with drawn cutlasses pointed at, or 4 pirates with drawn cutlasses pointed at you.
Leave.
But like, I assume everyone was drawn by the captain's speech, right?
I mean, look, they were somewhat paying attention. I think maybe not
Yeah.
all of them though. They were still watching you.
Yeah, but like,
You just-
I make an
You
attack.
just dropped one of their
regardless.
friends back into the water.
I've rolled an attack. You
I mean, look, you hit. I'm just saying that like they are well aware of the fact you're
I
doing.
picked the wrong fucking goal.
I know not. I'm sorry. All right.
Hey,
So wait,
you weren't getting anywhere. You
Who
just said
have
you
you
didn't care
hit?
about parlay.
who have you hit?
The guy. Oh, I assume they came
Oh
up. They're
no,
in the
you're
light.
not hitting the rock, dude, are you?
No, like, because I'm still on the opposite. I'm still
Yeah,
on the
you're
other
still
side
on
of the
the
ship,
opposite
and
side.
they've come up in a line. Like, I imagine they're all lined up weirdly.
Yeah, with like
Yeah.
sabers drawn at you. So you're just hitting the one who's closest to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got a screen for this, or do you need to take a break?
No, I will actually have to take a break to make up a plugin.
I
I'm
thought
happy
so.
for this.
I no.
Cool. So, as I think when we see like, so I think he says like, what do you think my ship is? And there's like he laughs, and the laugh kind of like it dims down, and then like as it goes quiet, we hear like whack of Zon's quarter stuff. And I think it's like perfectly framed, so like Zon is the camera's like looking at the pirate and Nox, and kind of like just in the middle of them, behind them in the background.
Almost blurred out.
Yeah, like, almost like blurred out. We see Zon like, I think as they're having this conversation, as he's laughing, we see Zon like look at his quarterstaff, and then look up at the pirate in front of him, and then the smack happens. So yeah, with that, we're gonna pause for a moment. We'll be back in like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm gonna very quickly draw up a map of a ship, and then add some pirates to it, and then the party.
God damn it, Jake.
And then
He just said he didn't care. That part. He just said he didn't care.
and then we'll be
You
back.
haven't been convinced
Jake,
yet.
I'm pretty sure he was bluffing.
No,
And-
he's got the fucking thing. He's fine. He's ready to rape and pillage.
And then we'll be back. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll be back very shortly. See you very soon.